Halloween mysteries, when celebration turns to tragedy. Imagine walking home after a night of celebration. The streets are quiet now. The costumes have been put away. You wave goodbye to your friends, confident you'll see them tomorrow. But you never make it inside. You vanish completely, as if the darkness itself swallowed you whole. Now imagine running from a party, your heart pounding, terror in your eyes. Your friends call after you, but you don't stop. You can't stop. Something has gripped your mind with pure fear. You sprint into the night, faster than anyone can follow, and then nothing. You're gone, forever. Or picture this. You're kayaking down a peaceful river with your daughter. You've seen that shoe sticking out of the mud for years. Just trash, you think. But today, there's a second shoe, right next to the first, both pointing up from the earth. And when you start digging, when you pull on that sock expecting garbage, you realize with horror that the bones inside aren't separate. They're connected to an entire skeleton that's been waiting there, watching the river flow by for who knows how long. These aren't campfire stories. These aren't urban legends designed to scare you. These are real cases, real people, real families who went to sleep one night and woke up to a nightmare that never ended. Tonight, we're diving into 3 of the most disturbing, unsolved mysteries that happened on or around Halloween. Cases that defy explanation. Cases that have baffled investigators for years, even decades. Cases where someone's entire existence was erased in a single moment, leaving behind nothing but questions and heartbreak. What happened to these people? Where did they go? And why does Halloween seem to hold such darkness? Before we begin, if you're intrigued by unsolved mysteries and want to see more cases like these, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Drop a like on this video to help us reach more people who might have information about these cases, and share this with anyone who loves true crime and mysteries. Your support helps bring attention to these forgotten cases and keeps hope alive for the families still searching for answers. Now, let's dive into the first case. October 31st, 2001, Halloween night in State College, Pennsylvania. The streets are packed with college students in costume, music pumping from every corner, laughter echoing through the crisp autumn air. Among the crowd is 21-year-old Hyun Jong-song, who goes by Cindy. She's dressed as a bunny, spending the night dancing at the Players nightclub with her 2 best friends, Stacy and Lisa. Cindy is living the college dream. She's studying integrative arts at Penn State University with plans to become a graphic designer. Originally from South Korea, she moved to the United States when she was 15, bringing with her an infectious love for music, film, and art. Her friends describe her as cheerful, friendly, someone who lights up every room she enters. She keeps a personal blog where she shares her daily accomplishments, her struggles, her dreams. She's just bought a new computer that's waiting to be delivered. She has tickets to see Britney Spears in December. She's excited about graduating the following year. Everything is ahead of her. The night stretches into the early hours of November 1st. Around 4 in the morning, after partying and then hanging out at a friend's house playing video games, Cindy's friend Stacy drops her off at her apartment complex. Cindy steps out of the car, waves goodbye, and walks toward her apartment door. Stacy watches her go, has no reason to worry, and drives away. That wave goodbye is the last time anyone ever sees Cindy Song. When her roommate Catherine returns from being out of town, Cindy isn't there. She doesn't show up to work. Her friends start calling around. Nobody knows where she is. A missing persons report is filed and the investigation begins. Here's where it gets strange. Inside Cindy's apartment, investigators find her backpack, her cell phone, and the false eyelashes she wore with her bunny costume. This proves she made it inside. She definitely entered her apartment after Stacy dropped her off, but her wallet and keys are missing. This suggests something crucial. Cindy likely left again. She probably got hungry after the long night and decided to walk to the 24-hour convenience store nearby to grab something to eat. Nothing unusual about that. College students do it all the time. But there's no surveillance footage of her entering the store. There's no activity on her credit cards after 4 a.m. There are no signs of forced entry or struggle in her apartment. She left of her own free will, walked out into the night, and simply disappeared. The police investigation expands. Posters go up all over town. The university community rallies together, desperate to find her. Days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months. Her friends are interviewed extensively. Phone records are examined. The town and surrounding woods are searched thoroughly. Nothing. It's as if Cindy Song walked through a door into another dimension and the door closed behind her. Her family flies in from South Korea, devastated and desperate. They plead with police to keep searching, but with no leads. The active search is eventually called off. The case grows cold, but not forgotten. Then something bizarre happens. A few days after Cindy's disappearance, an eyewitness in Philadelphia's Chinatown district, nearly 200 miles away, reports seeing a woman matching Cindy's description, crying and screaming for help as she's forced into a car by a man with olive to light brown skin and medium-length hair. The witness provides this information to police, but investigators don't believe. It's connected to Cindy's case. The man is never identified. The lead goes nowhere. Tensions rise between Cindy's family and local police. The family believes authorities are being negligent, treating this as a simple missing person case rather than a potential crime. They argue that racial bias is affecting the investigation, that their daughter isn't being taken seriously because she's Korean. Student groups form a coalition demanding better treatment of the case. The situation deteriorates until police cut off all communication with the Song family entirely. Imagine that. Your daughter is missing, and the only people who can help you find her stop talking to you completely. 2 years pass. Then, in 2003, a shocking development. A man named Hugo Selensky is arrested after multiple bodies are discovered buried in his backyard. One of his associates, Paul Weekly, tells police that Selensky and another man named Michael Kukowski kidnapped Cindy Song, killed her and buried her remains. According to Weekly, they held her in a walk-in freezer on Selensky's property where Kukowski murdered her. Later, Selensky killed Kukowski himself during a financial dispute, possibly also because Kukowski kept Cindy's bunny ears as a trophy. This is it. The case is solved. The nightmare has an answer, as terrible as it is. Except it's not solved. Police search Selensky's property extensively. They find other victims, but they don't find Cindy Song. There's no physical evidence connecting Selensky to Cindy whatsoever. Investigators discover that Paul Weekly had searched Cindy's case extensively on his computer. They theorize he made up the story, trying to frame Selensky to reduce his own sentence for other crimes. Selensky is never charged in connection with Cindy's disappearance, though he remains a person of interest. And that's where it ends. No closure, no answers, just a young woman who walked out of her apartment to get a snack and was never seen again. It's been over 20 years. Cindy would be in her mid-40s now if she's still alive. Her family still doesn't know what happened. The community still wonders, and somewhere out there, someone knows the truth. But now let's talk about Jeremy Jordan, because his case is somehow even stranger. October 31st, 2016, Bemidji, Minnesota. 17-year-old Jeremy Jordan is at a Halloween party with friends and in family, including his sister. Jeremy is a star athlete, a talented basketball player with dreams of earning a college scholarship. His teammates call him Worm. He's hardworking, focused, and known for being somewhat of a homebody. He's raised by his grandfather and his aunt Alexandra, both of whom he's incredibly close to. He's a member of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, specifically the Leech Lake Band. He loves video games, especially Call of Duty. He's just a normal teenager, enjoying Halloween night. Everything at the party seems fine, normal, fun. Then suddenly, without warning, Jeremy jumps up. His face changes. Something is wrong. Very wrong. He shouts, "I'm out of here!" and bolts from the party. He runs down the road into the darkness, moving at full speed. His friends and family chase after him, calling his name, but they can't catch up. Remember, Jeremy is a star athlete. He's fast, incredibly fast. They run behind him for as long as they can, but he disappears into the night. They assume he's heading home, though nobody knows why he ran. Was there an argument? A disagreement? Nobody at the party remembers anything unusual happening before Jeremy's sudden panic. Here's what makes this even more disturbing. Jeremy's home is 15 miles away. It would take hours to walk there, and it's late October in Minnesota. The weather is freezing. There's no logical reason Jeremy would try to walk home, especially not in a panic, especially not at night in those conditions. The next morning, when Jeremy doesn't come home, his grandfather files a missing person report at 9 a.m. The police respond immediately. They take this seriously, which is unfortunately rare in cases involving indigenous people, who are often dismissed as runaways. Search dogs are brought in to track Jeremy's scent from the party. The dogs follow the trail for about 500 feet, roughly 2 blocks. Then the scent vanishes. Not fades, not gradually disappears, vanishes completely, as if Jeremy was picked up by a vehicle or somehow stopped existing at that exact spot. The location where his scent ends is very close to Highway 2. Police investigate everyone at the party, checking vehicles, conducting interviews. Nothing. Volunteers, police officers, even Border Patrol agents join the search. They comb through dense forests, check nearby lakes like Lake Irving and Lake Bemidji. They find absolutely nothing. What happened to Jeremy Jordan? Why did he suddenly panic and run? What terrified him so badly that he fled into the freezing night? And how did his scent just disappear? This case bears a striking resemblance to another mystery. In 2014, a 28-year-old German man named Lars Mittank was on vacation in Bulgaria. After getting into a fight, he sustained an ear injury. Days later, while at the airport preparing to fly home, he became paranoid and erratic. At the airport doctor's office, Lars suddenly screamed, "I don't want to die here. I have to get out of here." He ran out of the airport and was never seen again. In Lars's case, investigators believe a negative reaction to antibiotics for his ear injury may have caused his behavior. But Jeremy Jordan had no reported injuries, no medications, no fight. Everything was normal until that single moment when terror seized him and he ran. Could he have been drugged without knowing it? Was his cigarette laced with something? Did something happen at the party that nobody witnessed? The questions have no answers. Jeremy would be 25 years old today. His family has created a Facebook page dedicated to finding him. Searches continue. The community hasn't given up, but Jeremy Jordan remains missing, his disappearance as inexplicable as the day it happened. Now for the final case. And this one is different, deeply unsettling in a way that's hard to describe. October 29th, 2012, 2 days before Halloween. A father and daughter are kayaking together on the Eel River in Humboldt County, California. They've been kayaking this route for years. They know every bend, every landmark. And for years, they've noticed something odd, a sneaker tip sticking out of the ground near the riverbank. Just trash, they figure. Riverside areas are full of garbage. Nothing unusual. They paddle past it every time without a second thought. But today, something is different. Today, there's a second shoe right next to the first. Both shoes pointing up from the earth as if someone was buried standing upright or lying down with their feet toward the sky. The father stops. Something about this doesn't feel right. He pulls out his camera and takes a picture. Then he makes a decision that will haunt him. He grabs a stick and starts digging. He digs and digs, hoping to find trash, debris, anything normal, anything that makes sense. But as the dirt falls away, he sees a sock full of bones. He thinks roots have grown into it, so he pulls harder. That's when the foot detaches from the leg bone below. He's not looking at trash. He's looking at a complete human skeleton. Someone has been lying here, partially buried for years, maybe decades, and countless people have paddled past those shoes without ever knowing a dead body was right there beneath the surface. Police are called immediately. They recover the remains and begin analysis. The victim is determined to be a white male, approximately 25 to 45 years old, somewhere between 5'1" and 6'5". He was wearing a t-shirt with a darkly humorous message. Before I started working here, I drank, smoked, and used foul language for no reason at all. Thanks to this job, I now have a reason. He wore pants, the shoes, and carried a pocket knife. DNA is extracted and uploaded to CODIS, the National DNA Database. Here's where it gets truly disturbing. The DNA doesn't match any known missing person. Nobody has reported this man missing. Nobody is looking for him. His family, if he has one, apparently doesn't even know he's gone. Was he estranged? Was he a drifter? A hitchhiker passing through? Did someone murder him and bury him in this shallow grave? Or did he die from natural causes and somehow end up here? The questions multiply. This case immediately brings to mind the infamous Salish Sea feet mystery from British Columbia, where more than 20 detached human feet in running shoes have washed ashore since the late 2000s. But in those cases, investigators believe natural decomposition in water caused the feet to detach, and the buoyancy of the shoes made them float to shore. There's no evidence of foul play. This case is different. This is an entire skeleton. Someone's complete remains, buried with feet exposed to the world, discovered only because a curious father decided to investigate 2 shoes instead of 1. But here's what's truly chilling. When you start researching Humboldt County, California, you discover a disturbing pattern. Between 2011 and 2014, over 10 bodies or remains were found in the dark woods of Humboldt County under mysterious or suspicious circumstances. 1 or 2 might be coincidence, but more than 10 in just a few years. In Reddit threads and true crime forums, people have compiled lists of these cases, wondering if there's a connection. Is someone responsible for these deaths? Is there a serial killer operating in these woods? Or is Humboldt County simply a place where people go to disappear? The identity of the skeleton remains unknown. Nobody has come forward with information. The case is unsolved. And somewhere, this man's family might still be wondering why he never called, never wrote, never came home. They might not even know he's dead. 3 cases. 3 Halloween mysteries. 3 people who simply vanished or were discovered under impossible circumstances. Cindy Song walked out for a snack and was never seen again. Jeremy Jordan ran from a party in terror and disappeared into thin air. An unidentified man was buried by a river, his shoes marking his grave for years while the world passed by. These cases remind us that Halloween, for all its fun and celebration, can also be a time of tragedy. A night when our guard is down, when we're vulnerable, when danger can lurk in places we'd never expect. They remind us to stay vigilant, to watch out for one another, to never assume that someone will be safe just because they should be. But most importantly, these cases remind us that behind every unsolved mystery is a real person. Someone who laughed, who dreamed, who had people who loved them. Cindy Song wanted to see Britney Spears in concert and graduate college. Jeremy Jordan wanted a basketball, scholarship, and a future. The unknown man wore a shirt with a joke on it, suggesting he had a sense of humor, a job, a life. They deserve answers. Their families deserve closure. And until these cases are solved, we'll keep sharing their stories. Keep asking questions, keep hoping that someone, somewhere, knows something that can finally bring these mysteries to an end. If you have any information about these cases, please contact the appropriate authorities. You might be the one person who can finally solve what happened on these tragic Halloween nights. Stay safe out there and never stop wondering,